A day in the life of an executive assistant is quite varied, but I want to take you through my day today. I work for a CEO in the finance world. Before I start, I will not only take you through my day, I will give you helpful hints along the way. You can tweak these hints to what works for you because we all know, and what I keep saying in my videos, not every size fits all. Throughout this video, I will be mentioning videos that I previously created, which will give you more insight on what I'm talking about in this video. And I will provide all the links for these videos in the description box below. I really try to make my videos as informative as possible, and from experiences I have had of over 20 years as an executive assistant. So if you find these videos helpful, please subscribe and like. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Yesterday afternoon, I made sure I prepared for today. One of the things I did was I drafted a question and update email for my executive because at the moment, my executive is traveling. So when I got in this morning, I checked my emails and my executive's emails to see what I could action and respond to and what needs to go on the question and update email for his attention. I only send my executive a question and update email when he is traveling, and I send it around 10 or 10:30 a.m. When my executive isn't traveling, we usually catch up at 10 a.m. each morning or 3 mornings a week, depending on my executive's schedule and travel arrangements. At our catch-ups, he lets me know what he needs me to do or chase up. Also, at these catch-ups, I ask him questions about emails or meeting invites that have come in, or any requests that come in that need his approval. I also give him an update regarding things he needs to be aware of, or updates about tasks I'm stuck on or have completed. Some executives also like to discuss their meeting schedule for the day. If that's the case, then your catch-up should be earlier than their first meeting. My executive is on top of his meeting schedule. I just make sure he has all the reports, presentation he needs attached to the Outlook invite prior to the scheduled meeting. So we rarely discuss the meeting for that day. What we do discuss is meetings coming up and presentations that I or someone else should be completing. And then I chase that person completing the information needed. Catching up with your executive every day or at least 3 days a week is so important. It keeps the communication open and it builds trust between both you and the executive, especially if you work remotely for all or part of the week. Okay, so now I've gone through all my executive's emails and added to the question and update email I drafted yesterday. I send it off to my executive. He will respond when he has a moment. This is what my questions and update email looks like. In the subject matter for that email, I add question and update, and I will also add today's date. Then I add 2 headings within the body of that update. I always add the questions heading first, then the update. I number each question. I don't use bullet points. With numbers, he can put down the corresponding number to the subject he is replying to. My executive may not always answer all the questions in the first reply for a number of reasons. He may have to look something up first in order to reply to a particular number, or it may be too difficult to explain via email, so he will leave that number out of his response. After I sent off the email to my executive, I put together the first draft of the monthly newsletter. I chased up the managers that haven't yet submitted their contribution to the newsletter. They were meant to send through their submissions yesterday. I find sending off reminder invites for the day before newsletters are due helps cut down the number of people I have to chase. But as we all know, there will still be people to chase up. Maybe not the same people as the previous month, but people get busy and forget. Now, I sent these reminder invites for this year in October last year. Sending out all reoccurring invites in October for the following year ensures I get the first pick of dates and I don't have to think about sending out invites each month. Dates are usually locked in. It also helps me by having less tasks to do in the beginning of the year and I can concentrate on other things. Another task I had to do today was to upload the position description on LinkedIn as we are recruiting for a position in our company. Before I knew it, it was lunchtime. I quickly checked my executive's inbox and my inbox to see if anything urgent had come in and needed my attention, but nothing came in that couldn't wait. After lunch, I noticed my executive had replied to all but one question I had raised in my questions and update email. The question he hadn't replied to, he stated that he would ring me later on today to discuss. I executed all the other responses to that email I sent him. Once that was done, I went through both my inbox and my executive's Outlook inbox and I noticed a couple of things that came through that I needed my executive's response for. I added it to tomorrow's question and update email. If it was urgent, then I would have texted him. If I was having a normal face-to-face catch-up with my executive the next day, there would be no need for a question and update email. I would have added all the questions and updates to my notebook to discuss with him the following day. Just on the side note, my days are less busy when my executive is travelling. This has been the case in most of my roles as an EA. So at the moment, I am assisting marketing with 3 projects. Number 1, ordering business shirts and polos with our company logo on it for all the staff that need them. So I just chased up all the staff that hadn't responded and I placed our order. I also assisted in getting the accommodation booked for the sales team annual conference. And I also chased up clients that hadn't responded to our signature event to see if they were attending and if they had any dietary needs. In between all that, my executive called me in regard to the question he left out in the email I sent, and he explained what he wanted done. So after our phone call, I executed his request. Before I knew it, it was almost time to go home. I checked emails again. Then I prepared for my tomorrow today, so that I am on top of my workload when I start tomorrow. There were no surprises for me today, but believe me, there are days when it is one surprise after another, and I am constantly trying to put out fires. I appreciate you watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.